If you've already finished Young Sherlock on Prime Video and you're desperately hunting for answers about what comes next, you're in the right place. Today we're breaking down everything we know about Season 2, the plot theories, the cast, and all the unanswered questions the finale left us with. And yes, spoilers are coming, so if you haven't finished Season 1 yet, bookmark this and come back later. Show overview. So for anyone who needs a quick refresher, Young Sherlock is Prime Video's origin story for the most famous detective in fiction. It follows a younger Sherlock Holmes who's still sharpening his skills, still making mistakes, and still figuring out who he is. The 8-episode first season kicks off with the mystery of a missing scroll, but it quickly spirals into a string of murders all tied to a much bigger political conspiracy. And at the heart of it all, Sherlock's own father, Silas, who's been running his own dangerous agenda this whole time, completely unbothered by the destruction he leaves behind. Season 1 finale key events. The season ends on a pretty ambiguous note. We watch Silas fall to his death, but honestly, given everything that's happened, it's hard to take that at face value. Before he goes, he leaves Sherlock a key, and that key, that's almost certainly going to be the driving mystery of Season 2. There's also a huge bombshell from the finale. Moriarty walks away with the formula for the nerve agent that Silas was trying to sell to the highest bidder. And on top of that, we find out that Moriarty and Beatrice have secretly teamed up, picking up right where Silas left off. Sherlock has no idea, yet. Season 2 plot theories. So where does Season 2 go from here? Well, the most obvious thread is Sherlock trying to track down what that key unlocks, where it came from, and more importantly, where it leads. Alongside that, expect another murder mystery to take center stage, giving Sherlock a new case to sink his teeth into. The show is based on Andrew Lane's novel series of the same name, and so far 8 books have been published in that series. Season 1 only scratched the surface of that source material, which means the writers have more than enough to keep building this world for seasons to come. And beyond Lane's books, there's also the entire universe of Arthur Conan Doyle's original Sherlock Holmes stories to pull from. Characters like Irene Adler, Charles Augustus Milverton, and Sebastian Moran are all still waiting in the wings. John Watson is considered unlikely to appear, but the show is clearly laying the groundwork for a much bigger world. We might also finally see the introduction of the Irregulars, Sherlock's network of street informants, as he starts assembling the pieces around him. Cast: who's returning and who's not. Now let's talk cast. The core group is expected back for Season 2. Hero Fiennes Tiffin returns as Sherlock, Donal Finn is back as James Moriarty, Max Irons reprises his role as Mycroft Holmes, and Holly Cattle returns as Beatrice. Natasha McElhone may also return as Cordelia Holmes, depending on where the story goes. Now, Josephine's Silas presumably dies at the end of Season 1, but given how that finale played out, there's a real possibility he survived. Don't count him out just yet. On the other hand, Ziyi Seng's Shoan has completed her arc. She gets her revenge and returns to her village, so her return looks unlikely. Scott Reed's Constable Lestrade, though, is expected to get significantly more screen time this time around. And of course, a whole new cast of characters, fresh victims, new suspects, will be introduced to build out the next case. Sherlock and Moriarty's dynamic. This is honestly one of the most compelling things about this show. One of the things that makes Young Sherlock stand out from every other Sherlock Holmes adaptation is that it actually gives us a friendship between Sherlock and Moriarty. We're used to seeing them as enemies, but here we get to watch them work together, and it's genuinely fascinating. By the end of Season 1, though, the cracks are already showing. Moriarty is starting to drift toward what comes more naturally to him. He doesn't share Sherlock's moral compass, and having had his first real taste of violence and power, he clearly wants more. Season 2 is going to dig deep into how that relationship fractures further, especially now that we know Moriarty has the nerve agent formula and a secret alliance with Beatrice. The big question hanging over everything is, what will be the final straw that turns these two from close friends into fierce enemies? Release date: As of now, Prime Video has not officially renewed Young Sherlock for a second season. But given how popular the Sherlock Holmes IP is and the creative talent behind this show, a renewal feels more likely than not. If it does get the green light, we're looking at a probable arrival sometime around 2028. So that's everything we know about Young Sherlock Season 2, the key mystery, the shifting alliances, the cast updates, and what's coming for Sherlock and Moriarty's complicated friendship. It's shaping up to be a seriously compelling next chapter, if Prime Video pulls the trigger on it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our coverage when more updates drop. We'll see you in the next one.